What is happening, my people? This is Tim Dodd, and today I want to walk you through a Sales Navigator tutorial on how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to generate leads. And I'm going to walk you literally through on my computer over here, step-by-step tutorial, the exact same strategies that we have used for literally hundreds of monthly marketing clients and thousands of trainees. I want to give you the details, the step-by-step, so you can have everything you need to start generating leads on LinkedIn. Now, there's a lot of myths and confusions and everything behind LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and I'm gonna walk you through those in detail, but I wanna let you know up front that LinkedIn Sales Navigator is not an outreach tool. It is a targeting tool that allows you to find and target very, very specific people. A lot of times people say, hey, I bought LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It didn't really work. And LinkedIn Sales Navigator is not an automation tool. It's not a lead tool. It is a platform targeting tool. It allows you to tap into the 700 or 800 million people that are on LinkedIn and target them very, very specifically, both in like, who are they, what's their industry, but in some really, really fine details that I'm gonna walk you through that I'm sure you haven't seen anywhere else. So make sure to stay for all of today's video. Make sure to save this, bookmark this, because this tutorial is gonna be very in-depth. It's the same step-by-step guides that we give to all of the employees that we train, to all of the coaching clients that pay us thousands of dollars to help them and train them, as well as the hundreds of monthly marketing clients that we've served. And we have clients literally paying $10, $20, $30,000 a month. I don't say that to brag. I'm just saying today's video, the walk through step by step, make sure to bookmark this, make sure to save this, make sure to subscribe, because I want to make sure that you get massive value. So if you're ready to see how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to generate leads, let's go ahead and jump on in. All right, let's jump into the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And today I just want to walk you through basically what we're giving to our paying clients. Literally the back end, if we hire an employee, we train them how to use Sales Navigator. If we have a coaching client where we're teaching them how to do the outreach, we bring them through this training. This training is the exact same training that we're using to do outreach for literally thousands of bookings every month and generating tons of revenue from, and this is going to be very, very critical for your outreach. So I'm going to walk you through what Sales Navigator is not good for, what it is good for, and just really talk about a few different things, and then ultimately give you very, very detailed step by step. Make sure to bookmark this page. Make sure to bookmark this. Make sure to save this LinkedIn link. Make sure to share it with your friends. Why is that? Because this is going to be a training that you come back to. This is not a fluff training. This is literally the same training that we put our employees and our clients and our students through so that they can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to get leads and customers. And we're using this over and over and over again every day. At this point, I do not see anybody else on YouTube using the new platform, the new Sales Navigator. So this is literally the most updated version. There's not a lot that's changed, but there is some that's changed. And I want to make sure you have the most up-to-date information on this. So let's go ahead and jump in. LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Let's just really break up Sales Navigator into two type of things that LinkedIn is trying to do. If we think overall, before I tell you those two things, if we think of LinkedIn overall as the biggest database on the planet of professionals, business owners, executives, any business is going to be on here. Any decision maker is going to be on here. It's the biggest database in the world for this, like 800 million people. It's crazy. And it's also a platform on which you can network and communicate, and people are expecting business conversations to happen. People do get pitched a lot on LinkedIn, but guess what? That's what they're on here for, is for networking. Most people are on here in a business mindset, so make sure that you're using this tool to the best of your ability. Okay, so with that being said, LinkedIn has given us tools to both kind of interact with our prospects using Sales Nav, and then also to target prospects. The targeting features of LinkedIn are amazing, but the more like CRM stuff kind of down here, which I'll walk you through, like account list, lead list, people in CRM, people you interact with, say, I don't use any of that stuff because it's not a good tool for that. What we use, let's jump over here, I'll walk you through. It is, first off, people go, hey, I got LinkedIn Sales Navigator and I haven't gotten any leads. Well, it is not an automation tool. It's not going to get you leads. It's a navigator tool. It's going to help you to navigate and find people that can be your customers. So it is not an automation tool. It is not going to get you customers. It is not going to give you leads. It's a way to find the people. And I'll tell you about how we, use software with Sales Navigator to get great results. It is not good to use as a CRM, the whole like following people specifically. It's not good. If you want to turn your money and your time into the most amount of results, pay attention to what we don't use this for, because I want to save you a lot of headache. We do not suggest using tools like Save Leads and tracking companies. Much of Sales Navigator is a waste of time. Here's what it is really good for, like best in the world. Like there's no other platform with Sales Navigator. It's very good to create large lists of highly targeted prospects. And no, we're not talking about those lists that people sell you. Hey, we'll give you a list of very targeted people and you can call them. No, these are like a list of people that you can then come over here and plug them into a software, which I'll tell you about in a second, and reach out to them in a very, very sophisticated and bulk manner. So it's also a great way to find targets that are active versus not active. I'm going to walk you through the little activity hack that's going to make sure that you're only targeting very active people on LinkedIn. And we also use this in conjunction with a private software to perform outreach. Do not use a software you can find on Google like a DuckSoup or a LinkedIn Helper or Linked Helper or whatever the million other Socialneighbor and Jarvee and all of these softwares out there. If you can find them, so can LinkedIn. And LinkedIn literally finds all of the software tools out there it finds the way that they work and their algorithms, and it feeds the software algorithms to their AI to flag your account if you're using software. We literally have seen accounts where it's like, hey, are you using Linked Helper? Hey, are you using DuckSoup? Hey, are you using this? Please stop or we'll shut your account down. They literally, in the warning on LinkedIn, it will pick out and tell you exactly what software you're using. So even if you're safe for a little while, be careful, because we have seen so many accounts get flagged and shut down because they're using public softwares. And it's not that we're using them. It's that, we'll have a client that's maybe using them in conjunction with what they're doing, and then we're in their account and we'll see that their account's flagged for using Linked Helper or anything you can find on Google for a software tool for LinkedIn. Beware, you're going to have a high likelihood that you're going to get flagged at one time or another. And that's not good, because if you can't use your account, then you can't use your account. All right. We use a private software for us. We all of our clients, both our coaching clients and our ongoing clients. So make sure you're using a good software there. Okay, let's jump into the Boolean search here. Let me show you. There's another one here that we don't use. Okay, let's walk through what these are. So a Boolean search is like a keyword. Like if I'm going to use a keyword up here, like let's say how I have these keywords, search keywords. Like let's say I'm coming over here and we'll walk into the how to use each one of these functions. Like let's just say I'm targeting marketing and advertising industry, right? That's the overarching like industry I'm targeting. But what I can use with the Boolean search is to really get specific with my targeting. So let's just say not Facebook. Let's say I want to reach out to marketing companies, but I don't want to reach out to any Facebook marketing companies. I could put not in there. And, which I'm going to erase here in a second because we don't use this, it would be like in that keyword place, I could say not Facebook. So that's going to be a drill down, and it's going to like be like marketing people, but not Facebook people. I don't want to, I have no problem with Facebook people. I'm just saying, just for the example of this thing. So you could also think like, for instance, if you're reaching out to real estate people and you want to do agents but not brokers, you could say not broker, right? This could be right, or you could say whatever you want to do here. You could say not intern, like if you don't want to target interns at all. We'll walk into more detail and I'll walk you through this, but let's just say not Facebook for now, just for this example, but you can apply it to yourself. Or is a great one. We use or all the time. I don't use and, so I'm going to just erase this for now, but or is really, really good. So like, hey, say I'm targeting marketing people, and specifically I want to target SEO or SEM people. So it's gonna, if that person has the SEO on their profile or SEM, either one of these, it's gonna show up. So it could have either or both. Now let's say I want to get, for instance, instead of SEO, I want to say I want to target somebody that has the exact phrase search engine optimization on their profile. I'm going to use the quotations, because if I just were to type search engine optimization, it's going to look for any of these words. Basically like, hey, if it has search and engine somewhere on their profile and optimization somewhere on their profile, it's going to show up. So it's going to be a very bad, not targeted search. So you want to use the quotations, and then you can use parentheses. Let's just say, this will make more sense here in a second, where I can do parentheses SEO or search engine optimization, or, so it's going to give me all of these, and then I could say like not, add not here. Remember, not a freelancer, not a student, not an intern, not a freelancer with an R, right? And so this could be my drill down search. So remember, like if we have, it needs that the profile, we're targeting marketing people, and we want to target specifically SEO or SEM or search engine optimization people. And so we have that in here, but then we have this not here because we don't want it to target freelance, student, intern. We want to make sure that we're getting cleaned up. So if I come over here to Sales Navigator, I'm already targeting marketing and advertising. I can put this part in the keywords, and this is going to help me drill down. And there we go. We have this drill down. And so maybe a little too drill down. Something happened here that's not good. Let me do it. Sometimes you got to refresh. So let me come back here to filters, connections, do second degree, which I'll go through here in a second. Third degree, see industry, marketing. I don't know why this is messed up here. So I'll just show you this first one. Sometimes it gets a little messed up. So SEO, that's what I'm looking for in here. So we got 110,000 results for SEO people. Let me get rid of the parentheses for a second here. Right, we got the SEO people. I think 910,000 SEO people. And then if I wanted to do like the parentheses, like I said over here, let's just say, actually, I'm going to do this. Instead of the not freelancer, I'm going to say like, I don't want to target Facebook. I don't want to target Facebook people. So, right, because like I'm just targeting SEO people. Like, let's just say I want to target Facebook people on another search. And so I don't want them to be in this outreach. Like if I'm going to save a search that I'm going to do outreach with for SEO people, and then like let's say later I'm going to do Facebook people, this is how I would do it. I'd make sure to have the not in there. Oh, this is why. Here we go. Let me put the quotation in there. Mess this up. See? Mess this up. That boom, 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 boom. Okay, so 540,000 results here. And then later on down the road, because I said not Facebook, I could just, and down the road, if I want to target Facebook, I could do this. And now so I would have my Facebook and my SEO people completely separated. So if you got confused by that, watch it again in a second, because here's all my Facebook people underneath marketing. And this last one is all of my SEO people and not Facebook, because sometimes you'll have people that do SEO and Facebook, and I don't want to target those people twice. I don't want to reach out to them twice. So, you know, I'll have this search where it says SEO and not Facebook, and then I'll have one that says just Facebook. So if that confused you, don't worry about it. You might need to watch that a couple times, but this is a way where you can do reach out to two groups of people and separate them. All right, cool. So now I have this. You understand the Boolean. You could also do, like, let's just say like I'm targeting title, like let's say I'm going after real estate agents. It could be like real, you'd say like real estate. It could be agent or broker, not intern or associate or whatever, however you want to do that, or what is it, admin, right? So I could also, there's a lot I could do as far as, like, if I'm targeting, say, like medical, and I'm trying to find like a dentist, it could be like dentist. That's pretty simple. Or orthodontist, or ortho, or whatever. I don't know all the dentist stuff, but you could basically find all of these, because you want to get very, very specific. It's going to allow you to reach very, very specific people. So if we come over here, we've already got the second and third. Let's go over to the searches. Now that you kind of understand the Boolean search, if you need, I'm gonna go down to the description right now if you need to. I'm gonna give you links to some other stuff that walk you through more detail on the Boolean search. If you still want more specifics than what I just gave you, you can go down to the description. I'll have links to all of the resources that I talk about in this video, and we'll go from there. Okay, so next part on this video, let's go ahead and jump over to the main filters that we use. So connection, first degree, and third degree. So we don't need to, if we're trying to create new contacts and reach out to them, we only want to target people that are second degree, meaning we're not already connected with them. First degree people means we're already connected with them and we can message them. So what I'm going to show you how to do is how to reach out to people you're not connected with. Second degree, you probably already know this stuff. This is going to be people that are connected to people that I'm connected with. Like, they know second degree, like this person is connected, has shared connections. This person has 15 shared connections. This person has 1 shared connection, right? And so once I go into third degree, these are people that are connected with people that are connected with my second degree. So I'm not, there's no mutual connections in third degree. These are like people beyond, I guess there's 1 shared connection, but I don't know why that would show up on any third degree. But you see this person in the third degree, they're not connected to anybody I'm connected with. So third degree is further out. So I select both for my outreach, right? And then if we come over here, we have industries. So like, for instance, we use marketing and advertising as the umbrella. Like if you're doing targeting e-commerce people, you're going to use, like, you know, consumer goods or fashion as the umbrella. And then you can drill down using stuff like e-commerce. In this case, we did, you know, SEO, and we can do eliminations as well. Title, let's come over here, and title is going to be, let me walk you through the title. And do not use seniority level. I'll tell you about this in a second, but title, I would use title versus seniority level. Why is that? So seniority level seems easy because I can just go, oh, I want to include, watch, I can do include owners, right? Or I want to include CEOs. Why is that a problem? Well, on the surface, it seems like, oh, that's great, that's awesome. But why it's wrong is if I go to somebody's profile, like let's say I go to Gabrielle's profile. Let me open this up in a new tab. I'm gonna go over to Gabrielle's profile. Gabrielle, if you're watching this, give me a shout out, brother. I'm sorry. Give me a shout out, brother, from Australia. That's right. All right, he's gonna be like, man, you have a horrible Australian accent. Well, I'm sorry about that. But if I come over here to his experience, you see how he worked at all these multiple jobs. He was a CMO. If I mark him as a C level, if I mark him as an owner, You see he's consultant here. If I mark him as like an owner, any of his past titles will show up in the search if you use seniority. The seniority is any time, in any of his work history that he's shown up. So this is going to give you a lot of bad results. Job title, on the other hand, you see I can select current. So let's say I do the Boolean search. Let's say I want to target owners, or let's do a Boolean where I do owner or founder or CEO or chief executive or president, right? Not intern or student. I don't know if it'll let me do this many in the job title. It changes. Or admin or EA. Okay, great. You see how I just used the Boolean up here to drill down. Then I use my industry for the umbrella. So if I think about this, industry is the umbrella, marketing, advertising. The keyword is the drill down using the Boolean, and then the job title. This is going to target only people who currently have these titles. So now I have a very, 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 very specific list of my audience that I can reach out to. So let's jump back in and get even better. So company headcount. I can drill down on the size of company. So let's say I want to split my outreach. Like let's say if I'm doing outreach to, let's say 1 to 10, self to 10 employees. They're going to have a different message. Create 100K, they like a 100K a month message, right? Like, or even like this, I could say like if they have 1 to 10 employees, they could be like, I could be targeting them with like, hey, we help you get to your first 100K. Like if I'm targeting like a self, I can target get to your first 10K a month, right? So now that I'm splitting company headcount, this is where I'm going to split up my messaging. If they're like, let's say 11 to 50 employees, I can do it. My messaging can be that I'm going to reach out to them with can be more like, let's say, I'm just making stuff up on the spot. So let's say, fee, it could be like optimize. It could be like increase leads and 2x conversions. I'm just making stuff up. It's not exactly what I would do, but just an example. And then if they're 51 plus employees, like let's say they just want to, this is more like going to be like a throw fuel on the fire message, right? So like if I'm reaching out to them for lead generation, the message that a self-employed 1-person company, no employees is going to be is like, hey, get your first 10K. 1 to 10 employees, it's going to be like, hey, get your first 100K, right? Then the message here could be like, hey, increase your leads and conversion. This could be a little bit more sophisticated type message I'm going to message them. If they already have 51 employees plus and they already have a sales team, this is more about throwing fuel on the fire. And then if I'm like looking at like 200 plus, right? This is going to be like, get hundreds of meetings with, kind of message. So you see how I'm using a company headcount split where I'm going to split up my outreach messages based off of their company headcount. Cool, right? This is very, very effective because the more specific you can get with your messaging, the better. Okay, so here's a current company. This is really good where you want to see how long they've been in that. Like, let's say you're targeting CMOs. If you target like somebody that's like under a year, so like, let me walk over here. So like company headcount, where is this? Company headcount, you see I can target all these company sizes, right? And so I can split up my outreach messaging based off of that. When you look at years in current company or current position, or years at current company, or it could be years of current company. This could be like an owner. Like if their years at their current company is less than 1, this owner just started their business. 1 to 2 years, this owner has ran their company for a little while. So like the messaging I'm going to target for a brand new company is going to be different than the messaging I'm going to target to like a 1 to 5 year company. They're pretty established, but they still got a lot going. And guess what? If somebody's owned their company for 6 to 10 years plus, I'm going to do a different message there as well. So you can see how I'm able to do high level of bulk outreach using the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, but then tweak the message itself to be very specific to what the pains and the sophistication of that audience are, as opposed to just doing one message out to all 83,000 people. I can split these 83,000 results you see up here into unique messages based off of how long they've owned the company. Or like, let's say I'm targeting a chief marketing officer. I might want to target, if I'm introducing a new product to them, I might want to target a newer CMO, somebody who's newer to the position because they might be more open to ideas. The message I'm going to pitch to a CMO that's been in their role for 10 years, it's going to be a lot different. So the targeting is going to really affect who you're doing as far as your messaging. So let's come over here. I already went over that. Years in current position. This is going to be similar to like what I just went over, but this is going to be more for like owners. I would suggest owners, and then I'll use this for like more like employees, like CMOs. You know, newer equals more open to new ideas, etc. Spotlights. Now I'm going to walk you through the spotlights. This is really cool, a really cool tool. So pay attention. Again, make sure to bookmark this video. Make sure any resources you see that I'm sharing on this video, they are going to be in the description. So make sure you go down to the description later. Make sure you bookmark this YouTube video. Come back to this thing often. Share this with your team. Anybody, any of your friends, share this video because it's literally going to be just a foundational tool for you. Brand new on the new LinkedIn change. And you're going to come back to this often as you're doing your outreach and as you're coming back. Use this as a tool in your company that you can come back to this video often. It's literally the same training that we're giving to our employees. So, and they're doing outreach, just an insane amount of outreach. It's the same training that our coaching clients pay us to walk them through and how to use this. Okay. There we go. Now that you got this thing bookmarked, now that you know to use the resources in the description, once we're done with this video, let's jump into the next part, which is spotlights. Very cool tool. And pay attention here. Jump in. If you got to, take a break, jump up, stretch your arms, move around because this is a little bit longer video, and then come back in here. So the years at the spotlights is very cool because if I do this, let's say posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. Here's a little hack. Like if you're wanting to know how active an industry is, and write these numbers down. The numbers I'm about to tell you, write them down. If I have, let's just say I had 100,000 results to make numbers easy. 100,000 results. If 16,000 of them posted in the last 30 days, I would write that down as 16% active. So if I had 100K in results and 16K posted in last 30 days, that's going to be 16% active. That's really good. And in fact, this audience is better. This audience is probably more like 20%. So here's some numbers. You want to write these down. Pay attention to these. I'll also put these numbers in the description so you can copy and paste them as well. So make sure to go into the description. If you have 5% or like, let's say if you have 3% or less, this audience will be very low outreach results. If you have like 5% to like say 7%, you'll get leads, but it will take a lot of work. if you get like 8 to 10%, you're gonna have lots of responses and leads with a great message. I do have go in the description. I'm going to give you a link to I've created a couple trainings on how to create great messages, so make sure to go to the description. I'm going to have resources in there on how to create great messages. Again, this is like a core training that is going to link to a bunch of other trainings, so make sure you have this bookmark saved wherever. You click and copy the link, share it with your team, because this is going to be like a core training that's going to have links to a bunch of other good training. So with great messages, you're going to have really good there. Anything 10% or more is just golden. Like you're golden. Very, very active. Tons of leads here. So that's a really, really good workaround. A lot of people don't use this, and I always use this. Like, and you could even, like, let's just say you only are using 1 or 2 accounts. We're reaching out to, our team reaches out to like 100,000 people a month for a client. We were reaching out, currently recording this video, we're reaching out to over 500,000 people a month on LinkedIn. So we see this little result right here. We're reaching out to over 500,000 people on LinkedIn. And by the end of this year, we'll probably be at the point where we're doing like 1.5 million reach outs every month. So it's like the amount of reach outs we do is very, very high, because we're managing so much outreach. Now, let's just say you only have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LinkedIn accounts you can use, and you're only reaching out to between 2,000 and 15,000 people a month. What I would do is use this, and I would target just the people that I've posted, because guess what? You're going to be guaranteed that these people are active on LinkedIn. Does it mean that the people that haven't posted are going to respond? Yeah, they will. But this is going to be your most active people on LinkedIn. And so you're going to have the most amount of results for your time. So if you're only using like 1 or 2 LinkedIn accounts and you're only doing like 4,000 or 5,000 people a month you're reaching out to, then use this. Side note, to do get effective results, you do need to reach out to about 10 to 15,000 people a month minimum. If you're only reaching out to like 1,000 or 2,000 people a month, it's going to take you forever to get clients. If you're reaching out to like less than 1,000, like it's never going to work. So just remember, take note of this. Make sure you're reaching out to at least 10, 15,000 people a month. Again, we have some clients that are paying us for 100,000+ reach outs a month on LinkedIn, but they're scaling fast. So if you want to scale fast, you got to do higher volume. Let's jump over here, and there you go. So geography, obviously, what I'll do is I might take this search, I'm going to copy this, and then I can save it. I'll usually save it into like, so first, save a base search, step 1. And that's the whole search. It's that one's very, very long. But I'll save that whole search. Let me make this tiny. I'll save it in like a Google spreadsheet. I'll save this is like this could be like my base search for marketing SEO people, right? And then what I'll do is then I'll come in here and I'll use geography. Like I'll save this so I can go like, oh, boom, I've got that. And then what I could do is like, hey, this month or this day, I'm going to do New York, right? Let's just say, let me do all of New York, not just the city, New York. Let me do that, because there's the city, you see the city, the metropolitan area, and then the state. I'm just gonna do the whole state, and then I could save like this is a state where I could do the outreach to this state where there's 600 people, and then I do outreach to them, and then I'll plug that into my software, and then I could do like California, and I'll copy this one. And I'll reach out to these 856 people. Like this is how you're gonna get like crazy responses for your outreach, right? And then I could just keep breaking it down however I want to do and go from there. So let me take this active and 30. If you're reaching out to 10, 15,000 people a month, I would not do the active 30, because you still have a lot of active people in this audience that they just don't post. I mean, I don't post. And I probably should post more, but I don't post because that's not the best return on my time at this moment. There is a point where it will be a good investment on your time, but you know, right now there's just, for me, it's I'd rather focus on YouTube videos and doing cold outreach and building my team. But anyways, there's always more you can do in a business. I'm always trying to go, where should I focus my energy to get the most amount of results for my time right now? Okay, cool. There you go. So that is the search. Let me walk you through. So how I would, ones that I'm not using is, let me walk you through this. So ones I wouldn't use is any of the workflow, like account list, lead list, people in zero. Don't get bogged down with that stuff. People you interacted with, leads and sales. So you could do like, you know, whatever. I don't do much with this. Okay. Posted content. I don't do anything with that. Years of experience. You can do stuff with this. For example, like if you're going to do, if I'm doing a reach out to people and I want to know if they've been in their industry for a long time, this is going to be years of experience. I'm going to do longer. If I want to target a message to somebody that's been in their industry for less time, I'm going to do this. So I would use this, just so you know. School, I don't use. Team Link Connects, I don't use. Profile language, we don't use, but there's definitely cases for it. First name, last name, I don't use. Groups, yes, you can do. There's some cool like group marketing stuff you can do, but it's not the best return on your time. What I would focus on is creating a great search like this, doing outreach, and then scaling that, because time for results, group marketing is not effective. There's going to be a million people on YouTube that say, yeah, do group marketing, do a million things, but it's not as scalable as just straight up outreach. Like group marketing is going to allow you to connect and message people that are in the groups, but those people are getting messaged a lot because people do all these like group marketing things, and it creates complexity that I do not suggest. So I don't use it. You can if you want. I don't use it. Geography, yes. Connections of, I don't use that. I don't use that. Obviously connected I use. Current company, no. Past company, no. Company headcount, yes. Yes. And what I would also do is let's see, like I can target, like, let's just say whoever I want here, because remember I talked about messaging type, company type. I don't personally use this, but there is going to be some that I would suggest to use this for. So like publicly held versus privately held, nonprofit. There's going to be times when you use this. I don't use this, and our clients have never needed to use this, but there may be times when this is relevant for you. So we don't use it, but you can. Company headquarters, that could potentially be another one we don't personally use, but you can use it. I'm guessing 99.9% of the people on this call right now are not going to use these two features, and they're going to give you bad results, but there's going to be a time and a place to use them. Seniority level, don't use. Years in current company, yes, I would use that if you're owners. Years in current position, I would use that for employees. And then the only one that I use here is posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days and keyword in the post. I do not use that. So that's exactly how I would use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to create an outreach search. Remember, go into the description if you want to see how to create a message for outreach. If you want to learn more, I have a bunch of information in there, as well as I do have a free training that I'm going to give you that walks you through a little bit more, like how do you do the actual outreach once you have this search, and like how are we doing this for clients. And there's a lot of moving parts to this, but this is going to be the core of your outreach. So there you go. Very, very cool. Let's go ahead and jump out of the screen. All right, that is how you use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find and target your audience. It's super powerful. Remember, if you need more resources on what messaging to write to get meetings with these people, or how to actually do the outreach, go to the description. I've got some great resources. Also at the end of the video, which is very soon, I'm gonna have a link that you can click to get an exact step-by-step master training on how to do this stuff. If you got value from this video, make sure to like, comment, share. If you didn't get any value, obviously don't do any of that stuff. But make sure if you did get value, that's the only thing I ask. We don't charge a penny for this. I actually don't even run ads on my YouTube videos because I just want to make sure you're getting pure value. Again, the resources that I talked about in this video are going to be in the description, and then that free training where you're going to get a step-by-step how to actually get leads and customers on a high level and on the detail step-by-step. I'm going to have a link at the very end. That's it. Make sure to bookmark this video. Make sure to save it. Make sure to share it. Why? Because I think you're going to come back to this often. Don't just watch this one time and think you're going to get it. In the future, you're going to need to come back to this. And so I would use this training today as a resource. It's the same resource and training that we use for our employees and for our coaching clients. All right, there you go. Again, this is Tim with the Tim Dodd Show, and I'm looking forward to helping you sell more and scale more. Oh, and by the way, if you stayed for the end to get that free resource, click that link down there below. It's gonna give you an exact training on how to not only get leads and all of that process, but how to turn those leads into actual customers so you can sell more and scale more. See you soon.